Hey everybody, Taz from Critical Thinking Anarchist here. All right, so I had about 10 minutes recorded of the video, and I found out that my microphone wasn't recording for some reason. So, anyway, the NFL has come out and condemned Harrison Butker's uh, speech, his Catholic commencement speech. So a little bit of, I wasn't planning on doing a video about this. I didn't think it would be necessary. It's not a big deal until the NFL decided they were going to come out and condemn this. And the NFL is a damn joke. All right. I haven't watched an NFL game in about 10 years. I honestly believe the NFL probably would have gone under about 20 years ago had it not been for gambling, honestly. I think quite honestly, most people only watch the NFL for fantasy football and gambling, especially with DraftKings and everything else coming up. I don't think there's enough money that actually goes into the NFL that isn't related to gambling. But that's neither here nor there. So the NFL came out and they sat there and gone, they're sitting here like, well, yeah, the Harrison Butker's speech does not reflect the NFL's values. Let's dig into that a little bit, shall we? Shall we? So on when it comes to that, we're gonna back up a little bit here. Whoops. So this is just a quick, search of NFL players beating people. Chad Wheeler, earlier this year. Zach Stacy, beginning of last year. And excuse the Beats by Dre thing. You've got, and then this is all the other people beating. So as I found out, one of the things is NFL players arrested for domestic violence. Now, Adrien Peterson was just arrested last year. I haven't gotten into this one. But we'll kind of talk about a different one of his a little later. Ray Rice, of course, one of the most infamous ones. Kareem Hunt, Jerry Jeudy, Damian Wilson, Mario Edwards Jr., Chad Ochocinco-Johnson, Xavier Howard, Johnny Manziel, Richard Sherman, and the list goes on and on and on and on, and there is no shortage of this. As you saw the list bump up there, so this one, it's kind of a, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Let's kind of start way back when. Michael Vick, back in the early 2000s, he was arrested and sentenced for 2 years for his role in a dogfighting operation, and the NFL was very quick to suspend him for that. Now, I'm not condoning this. I'm not for dogfighting, but again, this is kind of a different time. I mean, we're already talking 20 years ago now. He came from a different time. He came from a different era. That was a big thing that had been going on at that time in the area that he grew up. To him, that was normal life. Again, I'm not agreeing with it. I'm not for it. I don't like any of that. I should have been sentenced to 2 years. I don't know, but this is just kind of a, hey, this is the NFL. So no problems condemning somebody for their role in a dogfight operation. Now, to Michael Vick's credit, he did his time, and then he came back in the NFL and he shined again. And people forgave him because, you know what? He admitted his faults. He learned, supposedly, and did his time. Good for him. Nothing wrong with that, Then we have Ray Rice. Now, this is probably the most infamous one. So back in 2014, Ray Rice was arrested. Back in back in Valentine's of 2014. So just after the Super Bowl, just after Super Bowl had ended and all that, and he was caught beating his girlfriend on tape. They have him dragging his girlfriend, fiance, whatever, in and out of an elevator and by her hair and beating her and everything else, punching her in the face and whatnot. The NFL did not condemn this. They didn't come out and be like, well, this isn't our values, da-da-da-da-da. They had no problem. They let this go for, what, a week, right? No, a week. John Harbaugh trying to defend him. Ravens GM trying to defend him. Ravens owner trying to defend him. Roger Goodell. The answer to that is aware of the incident, whether there will be discipline. The answer is that yes, and I don't know on the second part. We will let the facts dictate that. This is 6 weeks later. They have the videotape shown. They know exactly what's going on. It's not like this is, it's not like this is an allegation and it's her word against his and they're waiting for the trial and everything else to come up. They saw the video. They had the video. They saw the video. And they're like, well, we'll just see. And he's indicted. And then apparently married the woman. I don't know. This is a whole thing. But they keep going on and on and on. And it's not, and then he's, suspended 2 games in July. 2 games. And then they keep going on, and then the video resurfaces. Again, they had the video before. TMZ had the video back in February and was showing it. And then the video resurfaced. It doesn't say video surfaces, puncher in their face. Okay, so it might have just been the dragging in the elevator portion. August 28th, NFL admits missteps, announces new domestic violence policy. Yeah, that new domestic violence policy. Let's see how well has that worked. Oh, right. We got a ton of people on that. All right. So 8 months later is when they finally say, "Oh, okay, I guess we're done." And so they, everybody released them, and NFL suspended them, and then a whole bunch of other things. Meanwhile, Adrien Peterson. Now, again, I'm not condemning. Not condoning. I'm not condoning this. Adrien Peterson. And I suspect Adrien Peterson's harsh punishment, was a direct result of all the fuck-ups the NFL did in Ray Rice's case. So Adrien Peterson, he I don't want to say beat. He punished his kid with a Switch. Now, this is back in 2014. It's not the Nintendo Switch. The Switch is a stick. It's usually like a flexible stick. And he admitted that he's used the belt before and whatever. And again, I'm not condoning this. I don't believe this is right. I don't really like, using any sort of weapon, for lack of a better term, on a child for punishment. I don't like the belt. I don't like the Switch. I don't like, like a sandal or thong, they call them thongs. I don't like using any of those types of things. I understand it. I understand that was the way things were done back in the day. And again, when you're talking a Southern family, punishments are harsh. Again, I'm not condoning this by any means. I don't think this is right by any means. But this is, it's his own child. It's for punishment, for disciplinary purposes. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying I understand it. There's a difference. And the other difference here is that it was not done out of malice. He wasn't trying to beat the kid. Now, the reason why we know all this is because, unfortunately, his son's testicles were lacerated in the incident, and he had to take him to the doctor, et cetera, et cetera. And so it became, filed a police report and all this other stuff. And the NFL had no problem whatsoever suspending him indefinitely, immediately. No trial, no arrest, no prosecution. They just did it. Ray Rice, they had physical evidence right there within a week, and they waited 8 months. Like I said, this was a direct result. My problem wasn't the fact that they suspended Adrien Peterson over this. I disagree with the indefinite suspension, which turned out to be about 1 year. I disagree with that. But my biggest problem is the message that it sent was wife beating okay, kid beating not okay. Which again, I'm not for either. But yeah, I mean, you got Goodell saying you must commit yourself to your counseling and rehabilitative effort, properly care for your children, have no further violations of law or league policy. So, beating kids, bad. Beating dogs or forcing dogs to fight, bad. Domestic violence, as we can clearly see, despite the fact that they put in a new policy in 2014, no shortage of guys being, and these are the ones that are just arrested, by the way. These are ones that are just arrested. These are not the people who've been accused, and maybe they haven't been arrested or whatever. These are just the ones that have been arrested. And the NFL is still sitting here. No problems. No problems whatsoever. Everybody's still glorifying him. But meanwhile, Harrison Butker, man, you and your Catholic views. Oh yeah, we don't agree with those. No fucking shit, NFL. No shit. We get ya. We understand. We understand that his Catholic values are not yours. His Catholic values are not yours. We get that loud and clear. Again, this is a ridiculous thing. I don't understand it. I think it's stupid. I think the NFL as an organization should have stayed out of it. I don't know why they needed to make a statement whatsoever about this guy. He's a Catholic person at a Catholic school. Again, for decades, you have had guys running into the end zone and pointing up at God and making the sign of cross, or anytime they make a sack or a good tackle or whatever. And interviews at the end of the game, they sit there and be like, I want to thank God for allowing me to showcase my talents. Now, as we can clearly see in some of these players' lives, God may not be the most primary thing in their lives, but it wasn't a problem before. So why is it now that this guy, not on the field, not in the locker room, not during an interview, at a Catholic school for a commencement speech, just does his own values? And I mean, this is the most in context thing it could ever be. This is the thing that makes the most sense, the time that makes the most sense. But apparently he wasn't sitting there going, I want to thank God for allowing me to be a kicker, to be the best kicker on the field at the moment, for allowing me to get field goals, or allow me to kick that ball right to the 1 yard line and having it stop right there. Apparently that's okay. But saying, hey, kids at this Catholic school, now that you've graduated, continue your Catholic values. Here's how you do that. This is idiotic. The NFL hates women. We'll just say that. The NFL hates women. They kind of like kids. They really like dogs. They hate women. They hate Catholic values, apparently. That's it for this one. I got a couple videos coming out today, so look out for those. Again, for all those that have been watching, I thank you so very, very much. Please hit the like, share, subscribe, all the other fun stuff, and I will see you in the next one. You take care, and bye for now.